Welcome to Thinking Like a Lawyer with your hosts Elie and Joe Patrice, talking about legal news and pop culture, all while thinking like a lawyer. Here on Legal Talk Network.
Hello, welcome to another edition of Thinking Like a Lawyer. I'm Joe Patrice from Above the Law. Elie could not be with us because he's, physically not with me in Chicago, and we couldn't get a good time to dial him in. So I've had to recruit some new co-hosts. So I hope this won't jar or scar any of you listeners who were fully expecting the melodious tones of Elie Mystal. But I have with me Chad Burton and Nicole Bradick from Curo. How are you all today?
We're good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good enough.
See, part of the reason that we brought them in to be the co-hosts is we figured we needed somebody who could grind gears as well as Elie does, and I think the answer to that was found when the question "How are you today?" was responded to with
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm doing amazing.
Yeah.
Things are
so
great.
Delightful and sunny.
I love legal tech conferences.
I think what's sad for the listeners is that, I'm slightly better looking than Elie, and I feel like it's sad that they can only hear my voice because I feel like his voice is more melodic.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's just liquid sex going right into that
kind of is.
microphone. Yeah. So what's got you all down, grinding of gears? What makes you upset?
God, there's so much. There's so much that's enraging about the universe. I think today our biggest gripe is that, Clio, they have how many million in funding, and their coffee cups don't have that thingy that goes around them that prevents the coffee from getting too hot.
Yeah,
I've
been burning my hand all day.
Oh, that little cardboard holder
I think
thing?
they need to go for another round of funding because I'm really concerned about scalding burns on my business partner here who's, a little bit clumsy and...
I mean, yeah.
I have little hands anyway, and if they're ineffective, that's
they're
not
supple.
helpful.
There are some personal injury lawyers here, by the way, if you're interested. Yeah, we're at the...
And they're super efficient because they use Clio.
That's right. There we go.
I bet they provide great customer service as a result.
We're here at the Clio Cloud Conference in Chicago in the Blue Aqua Hotel, which is, I would use the term swanky, I think, right?
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of neon blue around me and everything.
You would.
Yeah.
Use that word.
Right. Yeah, it's a word.
It works.
Some people do use that word.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what else.
Not in public, but people use it.
Yeah.
I mean, people did in like 1955.
Right, exactly. Oh, yeah.
I'm making America great again.
You're going to your sock hop later that's super swanky. It's going to be
I'm
awesome.
making America great again.
Guys, I keep forgetting not to cackle into the microphone, and I feel like that's going to upset listeners. I'm going to try not to.
You can cackle into the
Elie
microphone.
wouldn't do that.
No, he wouldn't. But that's the thing. We have. I mean, I don't know. We didn't really tell you this.
You're going to be edited out at the end anyway.
This microphone is not live.
Right.
You do not have a live microphone.
There's just weird dead silence every so often.
You were standing there when I asked Chad to host, and I was like,
I said I was the worst
seemed awkward.
I was the worst podcaster on earth.
We've had diversity issues before when we actually the three of us when we did the.
Well, that's a good segue to bring in our guest, who has worked with us before. Chaz, how you doing?
Things are great today. How are you?
Yeah, we have the General Counsel and Corporate Secretary of LegalZoom.
Can't leave that last part off.
I don't know why that doesn't come first.
Yeah.
Corporate Secretary. Well, yeah, I mean, it's an awkward thing. I always would have just said General Counsel, but in the last podcast that three of us did together, which for those of you who haven't listened to it, it's on the ABA Law Students podcast, the Alternative Careers in Law or something like that.
Yeah.
It's a cavalcade of hilarity involving us really, really eagerly trying to get out of the ABA annual meeting, and yet
because they were literally tearing down the room.
They were breaking it down. There were
forklifts.
There were fork trucks behind us.
You can hear it in the background.
You
can hear the forklifts in the background.
So we were at the center of a crumbling empire.
Yes.
Talking about our legal careers. Or more accurately, how we got out of law.
Right.
There was all levels of metaphor
so much going on.
Well, yeah.
I think Chaz's fighter pilot metaphor was probably the best one, or the plane.
Yep.
Something.
Pointy end forward, dirty side down, take off sequel landings. Good advice. Any profession you're in, absolutely.
Yep. Summed up the entire thing nicely.
I don't listen to Chad's podcast, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, we had a conversation about how we came to have these different legal careers. be it reporter or
reporter.
legal.
Lawrence was on it too.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right. That's right.
I
Our
learned more
producer-
about Lawrence during that podcast than after many days, spending days with him. I learned more about his past that day. It was
For
amazing.
listeners, that's Lawrence Coletti, our producer, who is usually unheard on this podcast, but is always in the background telling us what we're doing wrong. So that's why. But he was a guest on that one.
He's like the 1950s child, right? Seen and not heard. It's
That's right.
beautiful.
In my swanky abode, he was seen and not heard. So we're here. How's the conference going for folks?
It's always quite good.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. I've gotten a little bit out of it so far. It was a really awesome opening.
Yeah.
Lots of high energy. A lot of clapping for 9 o'clock in the morning. It took me by surprise. I'm not going to lie.
People were standing up and cheering. It was a little awkward.
Yes.
Because lawyers like getting up and clapping along with music and dancing.
Yeah, if anyone hasn't come to this conference, I kind of highly recommend it. This is a very different conference feel than most that I go to.
Not your typical legal conference.
No, yeah. Well, actually, Nicole, you had a question to ask.
I do have a question for Chaz.
Oh, boy.
Chaz,
Yes.
I'm a lawyer.
Hi.
I would like to know.
Wait, hold on. Time out before you finish that.
What?
Oh, he's going to grind another gear.
Wait, what's the gear? What are we
sorry,
doing?
did we move past that? Are you a lawyer?
I am a licensed member of the Bar of Maine.
Okay.
That doesn't
I think
really
that counts.
count.
Of course it counts.
Yeah.
My God, Elie Bailey was a Maine lawyer, so
Was being the operative word there. Yes.
we have an esteemed bar. No, Maine is a wonderful place to practice, and it's a wonderful bar.
You have an amazing governor, too.
Okay, I have a very serious question to pose to Chaz here, and you're screwing it up. And it's a very weighty question, and I'm very serious about it. Chaz, I want to know why. Why are you ruining the legal profession for everyone? Why, Chaz?
Well, I want to take this question seriously since you posed it in such a serious manner and say, please, I can't take all the credit for that. I'm pretty
It's a
sure
group
the legal
effort.
profession itself has done a really awesome job of messing itself up over the past, 130 some odd years that the ABA has been around, and the last several decades that we've seen the emergence of technology has been mostly shunned, except for the people at this conference, when you take a look at it. And
People
even-
still shun us like every day.
Even so, I still don't think the legal profession's ruined. I just think it's slightly tarnished, and something that's tarnished can always be brought back to luster with a little elbow grease. That's the way I look at it.
Look at that attitude.
I'm pretty plucky for a Monday.
You're a
For
plucky.
somebody who's ruining our industry, it's so plucky.
Is it really ruining? I mean, yeah, it might be displacing the work of, kind of pots of work of somebody at the bottom of the food chain, but it's not. I mean, I don't think LegalZoom's going to negotiate a Goldman Sachs at merger and acquisition with something, right?
Right. Yeah, that's very true.
Can you give us your 20-year roadmap on how you're going to do that? Can we get a breaking news?
You wrongly estimate that there is a roadmap at all that I'm following. No, look, we obviously have a way that we take a look at the profession, and I have said time and time again in public places, I guess this would now count for one once this thing goes live.
For both people, I assume there's 2 people.
2 or 3
that listen to
people,
this.
that I think the future of the legal profession has to continue to include lawyers. I think that medicine without doctors, people will never look at that as really, truly medicine. Now, it doesn't mean there has to be a doctor for everything, but there has to be a doctor somewhere, right? No one's going to go, to, at least not in my lifetime, I think, to have a robot with no or zero human interaction do some very, very complicated surgery on themselves. I think that, that doing your taxes without knowing that there's some accountant somewhere, especially if you've got something more complex, I think that's always going to happen. And I think law, there's always going to be complexities of it where you're going to need a lawyer. The important thing for me is to try and figure out, when you see numbers like we've seen at the CLEO conference, when you see realization and utilization rates, and when you're adding it all up for a solo lawyer, and you're roughly getting 6 or 7 hours of actually realized, billed, utilized, collected time in a week from CLEO customers who probably are ahead of the curve, that leads me to wonder, why are more people not using lawyers? And technology isn't it, at least not in my view. I think technology is great for lawyers. The big question is, why do people not see value in what we do? I often hear people talk about, well, we need someone to be the Uber of law, right? And Eddie Hartman, one of our founders, and I've had this amazing competition on what could be like the worst Uber of for any industry. I think the last one we landed on was like Uber of firefighting, which we figured probably would be really terrible. But seriously.
It'd be like an Uber of Joe Patrice. Is that possible?
I view the Uberization of law, which I've heard a lot of people talk about, as something that's not really needed.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because no one has ever said, gee, I wonder if there's a way. I wonder if there's a way for me to get to the airport on a Sunday morning. I wonder if only there was a thing. Oh my God, I just found Uber. No, it was something that existed that they just made easier to use. And I take a look at the underutilization of legal services. It's not something that's something that exists, but the converse is what doesn't exist. And that is a bunch of people who aren't finding a bunch of unemployed lawyers. So let's figure out a way to make them and marry them up. And I think that's the future of our profession.
What is the Uber of Joe Patrice? I don't know about Joe Patrice per se, but as a host of Thinking Like a Lawyer, I found the Uber of Thinking Like a Lawyer hosts, which is why you two are here.
Yes.
Right?
That's right.
Yes.
I
We need an
needed
app.
something.
We need an app.
I got freelancers to do it.
So, I mean, I actually don't think you're ruining the legal profession.
Thank you.
I was
I know you were
joking.
being facetious.
I was being facetious. And I think it's interesting because when I talk to lawyers who do actually believe that your effect on the profession has been net negative, the question I always pose is, do you think that the value you offer to clients isn't filling out forms? Is that where you're having a value and impact? And the answer is always no, that's not where my value is. So really the discussion with these lawyers is, well, let's figure out a different way to price and package your services. And that's really the challenge, because they've had one way of packaging and pricing, and you've screwed up that way of packaging and pricing. But that doesn't mean you've taken any value out of the services they offer. And I think that should be seen as an opportunity to actually deliver services that are valuable to users. Clients, sorry.
Well, thanks. I do appreciate that. I mean, I'm not going to disagree when you say something
he
nice
doesn't.
like that.
Huh?
He doesn't.
He doesn't what?
He doesn't care what you say.
Oh, no.
I do. No, absolutely.
I'm a legal visionary, so he really should.
Again,
You haven't mentioned that you're a legal rebel yet. Usually that
That's so
comes out in
true.
the first 5 minutes of any time she's
So rebellious.
interviewed.
I'm very rebellious. Should I give my other accolades? No.
Yeah.
I think we're fine. I think everyone here knows how amazing I am. So.
Look, I'm with you. I think that if you would take a look at what LegalZoom has done, and I think it is the question that when someone poses it, what has LegalZoom done for, quote unquote, the profession of law? Yeah, you know what? Maybe not a ton. But what have we done for consumers of law? I think we've done a lot.
Yeah.
What have we done for awareness of legal issues, like more people getting wills, more people understanding forming a business, more people understanding some of their legal rights and some of the things that they can do because they understand there's a national brand, whether or not it's what you think should be the national brand. It's what is right now. And I think we've done a lot to help educate legal consumers on their needs. And I think that if we could take a look at some of the people who are like, I've gone to LegalZoom, I don't think it's right for me, but they went on to hire a more traditional lawyer or even a flat fee lawyer, I think you'd see a lot of very satisfied people who otherwise would have been going without.
So, and not to give you a softball to make you sound positive, but isn't LegalZoom actually sending legal work to lawyers?
Absolutely. The past
That was
6
the worst
years,
softball.
That
Thank
sounded
you.
like you had
Like,
it sounded like you
wow.
had a note card,
I
Chad.
did.
I
Like,
now
yeah, that was-
owe Chad $48.25, which was the going rate for that question.
Can we start over? Can you ask something more snarky?
It wasn't surge priced.
It was a search.
Nope, no surge pricing.
Okay, so let's try this. Let me try this again. So I'm confused. I've been half listening to what you said. I don't think you've
I'll take
answered.
half.
Yeah.
That's generous. Did you answer Nicole's question? Why you're ruining the legal profession?
No, thank you for
Okay,
noticing.
okay.
I did not answer it. I answered the question that I wanted to answer,
Oh,
which
okay.
is,
That's-
why am I the only person being accused of ruining the legal profession?
It's just that's.
that is actually the answer
That's a
you
fair
provided.
point.
Yeah.
It was very singular. That was kind
Yeah, look, again,
Can we start over?
No, this is great.
I haven't done this with you before, so I was like, can we? She asked
This
a
is all
bad
new.
question at the beginning, which
My question was
derailed it.
amazing.
No, if you would have
Shut
said,
your face.
why is LegalZoom ruining the profession instead of why is Chaz ruining it, then we have a whole different discussion.
I think she was looking at me as a proxy
Yes,
of the company.
Chad.
That
That's
was where
exactly
I took.
what
That's
I
how
was
I
doing.
took it.
Oh.
And I think everybody listening to this podcast understood that except you.
So I should have been listening at the beginning too.
Joe?
I'm starting to wonder if maybe Uber this deserves a bad Uber review.
Yeah, maybe. This might be like a 3-point.
Oh, God, do you want to get on my Uber rating issues? I've got a horrible Uber rating, even though I'm the best rider in this country.
It's just false. Everyone knows I'm the best rider in the country. It's been proven empirically whenever I compare my Uber rating to yours, Chad.
Oh, that's horrible.
To try and get back to Chad's question about sending work to lawyers, absolutely. When I take a look at LegalZoom, I take a look at the last 6 years, especially since we first launched the legal plans that we administer, we have engaged consumers, like people who normally wouldn't be going and speaking to a lawyer, who over 300,000 consultations with a lawyer on legal matters that they see every day. These are attorneys around the country, and right now 48 states in the District of Columbia, hopefully soon to get the last 2 to fall, that we are sending people to get true legal advice from legal professionals that are bar licensed in the state where that legal matter is arising. And I see that as something great. It, again, is giving people a positive experience when it comes to the legal profession instead of the just above big oil in Congress rating that most of us get when you take a look at the legal profession. And that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I hope.
That's the best way to end an answer. That's a really good answer.
So I'll take it a slightly different direction because I'm going to do the crazy. I'm not going to do a softball. I'll do like screwball. So
Sweet.
John Travolta, good Robert Shapiro, bad Robert Shapiro portrayal.
Excellent. So I was.
You're a pro.
I did watch a bit of that. I'm not gonna lie. And I obviously know Bob very well. Bob, in the early days of LegalZoom, before he started the Brent Shapiro Foundation, was in the office all the time, 1-2 days a week at a minimum for a few hours. And John Travolta, I believe, I have not met or spent a lot of time with. John is quite a large man, and Bob is not in by any way, I think, short. But I think John Travolta is such a big guy. I thought that he kind of overplayed Bob. That's my own personal review as someone who knows absolutely nothing about acting.
So they did not ask for your feedback on that issue, is what you're saying?
Really
No,
strange.
not at all. I will say that the Emmys were last night. I heard that I think Sarah Paulson won an Emmy, and I heard that her performance and the bit that I saw of it, I thought was pretty good. And she gave a pretty new view on what I think a lot of people had previously held about Marcia Clark.
Yeah, that show actually cleaned up last night, from what I hear. Yeah, got a lot of them.
I was on a plane here.
I was driving.
So.
I was driving from. I left Rochester, New York, at 8:30 p.m. driving back to New York City in a rental car, which allowed me to get to Brooklyn right around 3 a.m., drop off my bags, pick up the bag I had already packed to come here, get back in the car, drive it to return, and then get on the plane to land here this morning. I've had a long and winding journey here.
That sounds horrific.
Yeah, no. So if I'm not paying, if I seem to zone out.
I slept last night. I'm still zoned out, so that's cool, right? So
I want to talk about the fact that Joe referred to himself earlier as a reporter. Is that really what you say?
It's weird. Actually, above the law is a weird job description to ever be asked about, because you're like, so are you a lawyer? And I'm like, yes. Oh, can you help me with this? I'm like, well, but I don't practice. Oh, so what do you do? I'm like, I write things. Oh, you're a journalist. Kinda. Like, it's it's a very difficult one. And you don't want to necessarily say smooth journalist, especially when you're talking to people who are making expectations about your net worth, because they're going to be like, oh, yeah, this guy can't. And I'm like, no, I'm a legal industry journalist. I don't know. I don't know how best to answer that question. If anyone in the hive mind can tell me how to best describe myself so I sound impressive,
give it
let
some
me
thought.
know.
Hire a brand consultant. That's my recommendation.
Yeah, no. We can find out. We can actually find out whether or not 2 people are listening to this podcast or not. People can hit us up by responding to at least at Joseph Patrice.
What are you giving away to the winner?
Undying love and respect? I don't know.
I think that's all you can ask for, really.
That's all anyone
you don't
can really
seem
give.
to have a lot of that, so
right.
I think that's,
One person should get it.
he's hard-hearted, so I feel like that's
you may not want to give all that away in one
Yeah.
sitting.
Be conservative with it.
So what do we have to look forward to at this conference, everybody? What's got you most excited over the next few hours?
Their evening events are super fun.
Yeah, based on Tech Show and the Clio thing that went on there, which My nephew lives in Chicago, and when I told him I was in town and that I was going to go to another Clio party I was invited, he politely said, "No thanks, Uncle Chaz. I think I'm going to stay home and not throw up in the cab on the way home." Sorry, Mitchell, for outing you on that one. But yeah, he pretty much wrecked himself.
Well, that's what happens when you bring your 10-year-old cousin to a Clio party. Of course he's
a nephew, and he's 24.
Or nephew, or whatever it is, yeah.
Well, I did hear...
25 now, jeez.
Was interviewing Ryan earlier on the road on the Legal Talk Network, another show you should be listening to.
How many Legal Talk Network podcasts shouldn't you just say podcast host as your title?
Right. You know, well, over the last few months, yeah.
Adam Carolla's doing well with it.
Normally it's just this one, but yeah, no, right. So, but and he was saying that he's sworn to secrecy, but there's going to be an announcement tomorrow about the future of this conference that they feel will blow everyone away.
Oh.
So
that's just setting unreasonable expectations.
Now.
Wait.
I don't know.
Cleo is going to say something that's going to blow you away?
Yeah, Jack's going to make an announcement about the future of this conference. So
it takes a lot to blow me away, I feel.
Yeah.
All right, are we allowed to start speculating?
That's what I think we should do, right?
You get a car. You get a car. You get a car. Everyone here gets a car. Matchbox car. No, I like that. That would blow me away.
What else could it be?
It would be fun if you just got it there and started yelling like Oprah style. I'd be super happy about that.
We're moving the whole conference to Canada? I don't know.
Yeah. Wow.
What if they get up and announce that, effective 5 minutes from his speech, they're shutting down the company and no one gets their data and all the data is destroyed immediately.
Or it's going to be like the Hunger Games.
I don't think that's good.
They will release the hounds.
They'll release
or the bees.
hounds.
That would
hounds
blow it.
that bark with bees shooting out.
What's that guy from Game of Thrones? The terrible guy who died.
Ramsay Bolton.
But
Wow,
Ramsay Bolton's
that
going
was
to come
fast.
out with
I
his
don't even
dogs.
watch the show, but
Yeah,
I'm like,
all right.
I knew that was the name of
I
that
was
character.
maybe that's the
never
problem.
watched
I was
the show?
clicking
Well, I
through my
have
head.
watched the show, but I haven't watched it in the last 3 seasons.
Is this,
but I did
is
know
this
that.
podcast really just us bullshitting? Is this
Kind
what,
of.
Really?
Largely, yeah.
Well, if I would have agreed to this easily, I was very hesitant because I was concerned I was going to have to
Oh, no,
perform.
no.
She thought there was going to have to be substance.
No, this is amazing. We just bullshit for an hour?
Yeah, we're quite, well, not an hour.
however
you know.
long.
Oh, Lord.
I
I hope
Well,
not.
you can go for an hour because, again, that
Your
mic
mic's
isn't
off,
on.
so-
Oh my God.
But no, thinking like a lawyer is generally Elie, me, and a guest
Are we thinking,
doing this for
Are we
a long
thinking
time.
like a lawyer?
It's, whatever.
Wait a minute. I haven't yet raised a problem you don't know you have. So how can I possibly be thinking like a lawyer?
Yes, it's true.
That's not altogether true. You did. You
okay.
raised the need for these documents.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, no, we absolutely
I
did.
feel that's
thinking like
the
a lawyer.
value add of right. Most
I feel
lawyers
like if
is
this
not
is,
problem solving,
if
but
this is
problem
how
creating.
lawyers generally think, then it's very problematic. I think we have much larger issues
So
in the
along
industry
those lines-
sample
than
skewed.
Chaz.
I'm a little
sample
bit
skewed.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned that, or I want to get to the bottom of you don't watch Game of Thrones anymore. So you used to watch it back in the day, but what?
Oh, wait.
Because it became super popular, you stopped watching?
Stopped?
No.
You started and that's not even possible.
I did. Oh well, I'm hesitant to answer this because the answer I'm going to give is one that you've heard before and will roll your eyes, but it is
I cut the cord.
after the first season, I read all the books, at which point I had no real interest in watching the show for several seasons.
My wife is the same way. Once she reads a book, she can't watch a movie or a show.
I can
She can't do it.
generally,
No, she
but-
actually can't.
Oh
So
yeah,
you mean
that's more
you-
extreme, but I
This
just
is why I don't read books, so I can always watch the
Absolutely.
show.
So I stopped,
Absolutely.
I stopped really needing to watch the show, and then when they came back with new material, I was like,
Well, now you're screwed.
yeah, because they changed little
Now
things.
you have to go
and now
back and
nothing
watch.
makes sense.
Right.
And yeah, exactly. So
but then how do you get your daily fill of rapes and beheadings?
I live in New York City.
Oh.
So yeah, no.
but
That's not true. I'm currently in Chicago.
Well,
How about
also
that?
just doing okay there too.
All right. But no, this is what this show's generally like. It's our
Wow,
format. yeah.
I wouldn't have hesitated if I
Yeah.
knew I could just come on here and talk about nothing.
Well, there you go.
Great.
It's
Well-
the Seinfeld of radio
And again,
podcasts.
Essentially.
you're not talking about anything because we can't hear you. So that's
Proudly the only Legal Talk Network show with the explicit tag.
Hooray.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. We can curse?
Yeah.
So awesome. Let me think of the word I want to start out with. I'll get back to you in a bit.
upset Lawrence. Please
Fine.
don't upset Lawrence.
Well, I think we're actually close to time, aren't we? Or yeah, no.
Aw.
So yeah, well, thanks everybody for joining.
Yeah, thanks, Chaz.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks for not destroying the legal profession.
You're a great guest. I can't wait to see what you guys do next.
Thanks to Chad and Nicole
You guys are killing
jumping
me.
in and being the Uber Ellie.
I'm sure we're going to be asked to do this again.
Yeah,
Pretty much guarantee.
this was fun. I actually think future tech conferences, this should become the staple panel for episodes that we run from there. If you are listening to this and you don't already subscribe to our show, you should do that through
Why wouldn't you
whatever
be listening to
podcast subscribing service you have, whether it's iTunes or, what other thing that
Do
other
people
things
listen
do.
to podcasts?
Yeah. No, I've heard it's a thing.
Yeah.
Just so we're clear,
Yeah.
while this is happening, someone is now vacuuming right next to us. In keeping with
It's on-
Chaz and Chad on the air, someone must be doing something janitorial. It's occurred. We can now end the show.
Right.
Give us reviews, read Above the Law, things like that.
Things like that. Just live your life. Is that what? Do something good. Carpe diem.
Live every day like staff members are tearing down the room around you. Because in a very real sense they are.
Constantly.
All right. I can't.
I don't even feel
nowhere to go.
welcome
There's
here
nowhere to go.
anymore. I don't feel welcome.
Or just end it.
All right.
Just abruptly end it.
We'll
Is there
we'll catch
closing
you on-
music on this one?
Sopranos.
Yeah. We'll catch you on a future episode
Or
of
not,
Thinking Like a
or
Lawyer.
not. Yeah.
Now here's Journey.
Oh my God! Is it done? Is it off?
As far as you know.
Whatever.
If you'd like more information about what you've heard today, please visit LegalTalkNetwork.com. You can also find us at AboveTheLaw.com, ATLRedline.com, iTunes, RSS, Twitter, and Facebook. The views expressed by the participants of this program are their own and do not represent the views of, nor are they endorsed by, Legal Talk Network, its officers, directors, employees, agents, representatives, shareholders, and subsidiaries. None of the content should be considered legal advice. As always, consult a lawyer.